head, but don't call me a bee head. Peas on my head, but don't call me a bee head. All right, jabronis, we're back. Welcome back to the Libretti Podcast Diary Show. I'm your LPDS host, Libretti. You got old Randy here in the background, too, in YouTube land if you're watching. So if you're not watching on YouTube, go check it out on YouTube. Like, subscribe, do all the how you doings. Do you guys remember that show, by the way? The Andy Milonakis show? Bees on my head. It's my show. I'm Andy Milonakis. There was always that rumor going around. I think I was in maybe high school, middle school time frame. I don't know why I said that backwards. Middle school, high school time frame. But he had some stupid show on MTV. And there was that rumor going around that he was like a 35-year-old dude that looked like a 15-year-old kid, like a perma kid. And the rumor was never answered. There was never confirmed or denied. It's still a conspiracy theory out there. I don't know if he's alive or dead. I hope he's alive. He was a good talent. He was in that movie about the restaurant goers with Dane Cook and Ryan Reynolds and that other guy from Accepted. What the hell is the name of that movie? Waiting? I think it was called Waiting. He was in Waiting. He was one of the back chefs with Dane Cook who used to do shenanigans. Anyway, Andy Milonakis, go check that show out on MTV if it's still around, if he's still alive, God willing. I don't know why it was in my head. I don't know why. Maybe I had a bag of peas or something and it made me think of that, but whatever. All right. Before we get into it, we're trying to keep things quick, keep it tight, entertaining, educational. But I got a story I got to talk to you about with my parents. I'm headed back home. So by the time you listen to this, we're in the future already. Okay. So this is the past. I'm recording this in the past. We're already past the point of no return, but by the time you hear this, I'll be in Jersey helping my brother Nicky Sticks move to a new site, a new compound. And one of the things I asked my parents was if they had their extra spare dog crate for Randy, so I didn't have to lug mine out with me up to New Jersey, this 3-4 hour trip up there, because they can just have that for him to hang out in whenever he wanted to or whatever, because we're trying to keep him crate trained. We're trying to get him to enjoy being in there in his bed in his little man cave. So they said, yeah, they would go check the shed. Now they have it in the shed. It's a separate entity from the house. So you got to go outside, walk in the yard, into the shed. They promised they would get it in time for my arrival. This was a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. They said this. Thursday before I drive out. I drove out on Friday. Thursday before, in the afternoon, I got a text message. Hey, it's your father. Yeah, no shit. I went to open the shed to get the crate, but the shed is frozen shut. There's all ice there. I can't get to it. Maybe, I don't know if we'll be able to get it in time. So they waited. Shocker. In true Libretti fashion, they waited. I let that go. Went to try. I was like, we're getting that shed open. I'm not bringing the crate. We'll figure out a way. It's just ice. It melts. Hot water. Whatever. We can figure it out. Adapt or die. Then I got a text from my mother. Out of context, your father fell again. All right. Well, I don't know why he wouldn't tell me that he fell again. I dig a little deeper. What the hell happened? Oh, he was trying to get your crate from the shed so you wouldn't have to, the mom guilt. That's where right immediately went to the mom guilt. Oh, you didn't get your crate, had to get your crate that you didn't want to bring yourself, and he fell on the ice. So now, watch it, Randy, with the camera. Picture a 68-year-old Super Mario, Mike Wazowski, grew with a mustache. Any one of those characters would look exactly like what you'd be seeing in real life with my father. Imagine him with size 13 black New Balances on, probably wearing old dungarees and a flannel with holes in it, outside, trying to open a shed door and chip away at ice, and then he just slips and falls on his ass. Now imagine he's too embarrassed and ashamed to tell his own son, who knows he's going to fall anyway. That's his MO. We know. Oh, if dad's going outside in the wintertime, he's going down. But I'm going to get updates by the time I get up here, up to Jersey and you hear this, I'll have updates. I'll try to provide them throughout the week to find out how he's doing. He seems to be okay. He's in good spirits. We did a little shit talking, ball busting. How you doing? So he seems to be okay. I just thought it was pretty funny, but also pretty standard that it's somehow my fault that old man, retired plumber Super Mario is falling on the ice again. We really got to get some like surveillance cameras out there so we could get some footage, because that's content gold. Anything that involves my mother and my father doing shenanigans, it's what's the word I'm thinking of? Funny. That's not the word I was thinking of. Entertaining. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. But I said funny because I panicked and I went to funny. All right. Real quick before we get into the cage, I saw this on Barstool. I got to give them credit because I'm obsessed with them. I'm biased. Shocker. They posted a quick video update of Nelly, old school Nelly from the early 2000s. Nelly crushed it. He's doing an interview. In the mid-interview, he's checking his phone and he realizes that he himself accidentally posted on his Instagram story a leaked sex tape of himself. So he had a tape of some girl doing self-treat to him with her mouth on his phone, and he accidentally posted that to an Instagram story. And in the middle of the interview, live, he's realizing it right there. And if I can find the clip on YouTube of that happening, I'll post a link up here. But to see him just react in stride live right there, incredible. I thought it was great because I was a Nelly fan back in the day when I was a hardo in junior high school, middle school, and I loved Nelly. What was his album? Something Paradise, not Gangster's Paradise. That's Coolio. Good song. Whatever the hell it was. That was a big time album. There was like 8 or 9 number one hits on that album. That was I don't know what they call it these days. Top cassette, a banger, hitter, whatever. Anyway, good stuff. Go check out the video. If I can't link it here, go on Barstool Sports. Check out KFC's 1 Minute Man. That's where it was posted. All right, let's get into it. We're going to talk about Quirks today. And there's a reason behind it all. It's not just to make fun of people. We're going to bust balls. Mainly mine. Monly. Libretti. Long week, guys. All right. First, we'll step into the cage, though.
Okay, let's run.
All right. Today's Into the Cage segment is proudly sponsored by the New Jersey Mothers and Fathers Italian Association's number 5 all-time Italian crooner band, Tony Palladino and the Steak Pizzaiolas. Be serenaded by hit love songs like Melt My Mozzarella, Be My Meatball Hero, and the top prom song of 1968, God damn it, Teresa, if you don't shut your dick sucker while I'm trying to watch The Honeymooners, I'm going to slap the shit out of you. So to get this 3-cassette box set now, visit www.tonyandpals.com and use the promo code GABAGOOL for 2.9% off your order of the 3-cassette box special value deal. 1968 prom number 1 hit was by these guys, and now they're reinvigorating their music, their hits, their crooning hits. So go check them out. Top 5 in the New Jersey Association of the Mothers and the Fathers. All right, Cage Fact. This is really more of like a news update, which I think is exciting in the cage world. But most of you guys, I don't know if most of you, but some of you guys I'm sure are familiar with the South by Southwest festival they do in Texas every year. I don't know. They do movies and music and comedy, and it's art, entertainment, art shit. That's supposedly pretty good. Well, the past couple years, they were doing it virtually only, which I don't know how you do that. Do you just go on YouTube and watch the videos? I don't remember how it went down, but I guess you paid to watch videos of movies. So this year, they're finally doing it back in person. It's supposed to be a big time hit, like, the first time in a couple of years, everyone's back in business down there for this festival, and they got a big time lineup of movie premieres and everything else like that they're bragging about. And one of those movies is going to be Nic Cage's The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, where, if you remember from previous discussions and Cage Facts, is his movie where he plays himself, a cartoonish or caricature version of himself, who gets asked to show up to this rich guy's party, and then shenanigans ensue, I guess. So look forward to that. The premiere is in March at the South by Southwest Festival, and I believe it's supposed to premiere for the regular world in April. Maybe it'll be earlier. Maybe it'll be such a hit they got to get this damn thing out earlier. That's what I'm guessing. If we're going to make an assessment and put money on it now, it's going to premiere at the festival in the beginning of March, and they're going to push up the release date to the public to maybe mid-March, end of March. They're not going to wait till April. That's an assessment. I say that with moderate to high confidence. Very excited for that. Anyway, that's the Cage Facts, Cage News Update. There you go. By the way, I look up Cage Facts on a regular basis. Shocker. I want to let you guys know that I'm working on the page on the site that's got the list of all Cage Facts and updates. I'm working on it. It's a long, this is episode 95. So we got 95 things to talk about at the very least that I got to put in there, and I'm trying to archive and make look presentable. So I'm getting there. But one of the things I did notice when I'm looking up new facts is that we're beating everybody to the punch on new stuff. We'll say a fact here, we'll provide some information or an update in the LPDS, and it won't be till days later that the big timers, the quote unquote big timers, write an article about it or post about it or anything. So keep that in mind. You're going to hear things here first. And I didn't mean to use here and here in that sentence on purpose. That's just the way it came out. But you're gonna find out about updates and news and facts about the Great One here before anywhere else. Okay, so if your friends are a fan of the Great One, Nic Cage, and they want to know about him and his life and what he's got going on, this is where he needs to be. Tell your friends to come here. All right. We pride ourselves on being able to push out this information to you guys. So I hope you enjoy that. Anyway, we'll get into the junction. Spin the logo up. Talking about quirks this week. So I asked a question on the Instagrams and Facebook. What are some of your quirks that people may find odd? Maybe you don't notice you're even doing them. And people, call you out for it or bust your balls or whatever. Maybe you feel insecure about it. Maybe you do know you do this and you feel insecure about it. Well, we wanted to hear about them. And we're not going to blow anybody's spot up because, again, people are insecure. We want to protect that. But we want to make people understand what we want. How do I word this, Libretti? Figure it out, you idiot. Sometimes at the end of the work week, my brain is working in slow motion. The gears are turning. The clock is ticking. But it's just taking a little extra to get those talks in. So bear with me here. What we're trying to do with the quirks and putting this stuff out there is to inform people and let everybody know that everybody's got quirks. And we're going to talk about them. So like I drummed up a list of some of these quirks that I found fascinating. We got a lot of submissions. I really appreciate that feedback. It's great to see that people were comfortable pushing that information my way and letting me know what makes them human, essentially, what makes them normal human beings. And we'll get into that more later on. But this gal right here is a fan. She had a couple of quirks, what she says are quirks. One of them was that she dances nonstop. throughout her day around the house, there's always something, there's always a reason for her to dance, and it depends on her mood. What her dance moves are is completely dependent on her mood, and she doesn't realize she's doing it. So if she's happy, she's doing some happy dance. If she's sad, she's probably doing some sort of like emo where you're just shaking your head and smoking heaters or whatever. When she's excited, maybe she's, mosh pitting, jumping up and down, fist bumping Jersey style. Maybe she's doing a moonwalk if she's feeling suave, if she's trying to hit on her husband again to, keep the flames alive. Everybody on YouTube, I wish you just saw this. Randy's dicking around in the studio, and he just knocked a box on his ass, and now he's freaking out. What a baby. What a fake tough guy. Anyway, there's all kinds of reasons why she might have, she might be dancing around and doing this and that, but she doesn't notice it's going on until maybe her husband or somebody sees it and says, hey, unnamed girl that we're not going to, announce the identity of. What the hell are you doing? Well, there's no music. Why are you dancing? And then she probably feels maybe a little insecure. I don't know. But we're here to tell you that's normal. Unidentified girl who's Wet Cat's wife. It's completely normal. I do the shit too. I don't necessarily dance. Like I'm not sitting there doing the guinea hop or fist bumping or anything, but I'll find myself randomly throughout the day, again, with no music. Real quick, if anybody knows anything about me, I rarely listen to music like for no reason. It's usually when I'm working out or I'm driving somewhere. I'll have it on a little bit in the background for the background noise, but most of the time, most of what I'm doing, running, reading, living life, it's in silence because I'm a mental case. So you'll see me in silence sometimes. I'll be in the kitchen cooking bacon and eggs or something, sausage and peppers. And for whatever reason, this is this move I always do. I always do the Ric Flair walking out where he just like, it's almost like robotic where he's like, ho, ho. Just one arm in front of the other and with a little like egotistical pause in movement. Woo! I catch myself doing it all the time. No matter what music is on, if there's no music at all, if I'm walking from the sink to my frying pan to go check on the bacon, I'll Ric Flair it. I don't know why. And then I realize after the fact, like maybe my dog will be looking at me funny, or I'll actually have somebody over at the house, a friend, and they'll be like, what are you doing, dude? So I get it. Completely understand. No shame in it. No shame in your game. Dance away. Feel comfortable in your own skin, in your own house, doing whatever. Now, this same girl, this same unidentified girl who may or may not be Wet Cat's wife, also likes to color code or color coordinate her clothes in the closet. Now, on the surface level, that sounds like, what are you wasting your time for? They're in the closet. No one else is seeing them but you. Yada, yada, yada. You're a weirdo. Not true. Unidentified Wet Cat's wife. Not true at all. In fact, I do a lot of the similar stuff, not with clothes, but with other things in my house that I color code or I line up according to shade or something. Roy G. Biv, what have you. It's a normal thing. People like good order and discipline. Okay. And part of that good order sometimes involves color coding things. It provides a structure in your brain to be able to delineate. And it's a lot easier when you're in a jam and you have to go out and you're trying to match something with your pants, a shirt with your pants or what have you. And it's right there. You can look inside your closet. Boop, 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 boop. I got it. If I want blue, blue's to the left. If I want violet, violet is over to the right. Whatever it is, you got it dialed in. You don't have to scramble and toss stuff out of your drawers or what have you to figure it out. You got it going on right there. Sorry, I had to step out some technical difficulties with Randy. He had to go take a dump. So where the hell was I? Color coordinating. That's where we were at, I think, right? Whatever. Anyway, completely normal. Once again, I do it to a lot of people. Do it. I see it with people in where I work in my daily life. Businesses do it all the time. So why is it okay for businesses to do it, clothing stores, but we're not? It's weird if we do it. Nonsense. You're completely capable and allowed to do it and feel good about it too. All right, moving on. This is not so much a quirk. This is a guy right here who's a smart man, and he's bigger than me, and he can beat me up, so I'm not going to talk shit about him too much. But this is not really a quirk. This is more just like something he does to be funny when people are mad at him. So his quote-unquote quirk was when he's got a tailgater on the highway, people who were tailgating are riding up on your back bumper right there like an asshole. What he does is he'll slow down and let them pass. And when they pass by his window, he'll squint his eyes and put his head through his steering wheel and look through the wheel like he's an old man, like he can't figure it out, like he doesn't know what the hell he's doing, just to make them even more mad that this guy shouldn't even be on the road. Now, while it's not a quirk per se, it's very funny to do. I do something similar because you have to understand when you're in a situation in traffic or on the road. We talked about this previously. You're already at a higher level of intensity. I don't know why I said it. Why do I say things the way I do sometimes? You're at a higher level of intensity mentally and emotionally, and you're on high alert and you're angry and anxious, and sometimes you just need something to bring you back down to zero and understand that everything's going to be okay as long as you're safe and smart. So sometimes when people are being raging assholes on the road, what I like to do is when they pass by or they get in front of me, I just smile and wave like an idiot, like that, because that I know that gets them more mad. And it's a big thing to do, but it's all in jest. It's just funny. It lightens the mood inside the vehicle to see how people react to you being a dope, essentially. I don't condone doing anything unsafe, though. So maintain your safety and security on the road. Be smart. Be safe out there. All right, this next guy here. Now, this guy right here makes a lot of sense what he's talking about, but I will provide a rebuttal to this here. So his quirk is before he works out every day, he has to take a pregame shit, and it has to be at the gym that he works out at. It can't be anywhere else. It has to be at that specific gym. I don't know if he's got a particular stall he goes in, or the timing of like when he takes his pre-workout to when the dump commences. It's always at the gym, and it just became a routine and tradition for him. I'm not exactly sure, but I understand the routine. In baseball and in sports, every time I played a sport or every time I was on a sports team and there was a game, I did a lot of routine things like that logically didn't make too much sense on the surface. But for me and what I was trying to do, whether it was a superstition or a good luck charm or what have you, that's what we would do. It would set the stage for a good day, a good game, a good outing. And for this guy right here, a good workout. Now, my rebuttal to that is, yes, you get free toilet when you're at the gym. You don't have to pay for plumbing, toilet paper, what have you. So it's nice in that regard, because there's nothing better than free toilet. If you've ever experienced free toilet before, you know what I'm talking about. But the rebuttal here is that, A, you're playing on, away team's turf. You don't have home field advantage when it comes to taking a nice relaxing dump. And B, unless you bring it yourself, you don't have access to what's a real X factor these days, and that's the baby wipes. Those are an absolute game changer in the number 2 game. So unless he's bringing that with him, you're really taking the chance. You're on public away team's turf, which germaphobe wise is a nightmare to even think about. So how much can you really enjoy yourself if you're one of those who has to squat, can't sit down, doesn't feel comfortable, has to take 15 minutes to nest up on the toilet? So these are all things to consider. But once again, if taking this number 2, this pre-workout number 2 at the gym is setting up the quality workout session, then it completely makes sense. We all do that. Everybody who's competitive and is trying to get better in the athletic world, the health and fitness athletic world, knows what we're talking about here. And this guy's a beautiful man for doing that, for taking one for the team and sacrificing, potential immunity for superstitious shits. Moving on over. This is another guy right here who thinks he's got a quirk, but really he's got something that's very normal, in my opinion, especially given the background that he comes from and where I come from. It makes complete sense. So now this fella right here, he says he folds his shirts so that he can see all of them in the drawer that he puts them in. So maybe he's doing like a combat roll, a ranger roll, if you will, on these shirts and clothes. Or he's folding them, small enough that he can wrap them around so that every shirt is showing in the drawer. And here's why I understand that. And I'll get into, I do a clothes folding thing myself, but I understand it because this is a brother in arms we're talking about here. And again, I won't reveal his identity, but he is a brother in arms. He has been overseas, taking out the trash, if you will. When you're at your boot camp, whether it's for the enlisted members or the officers, there is a requirement that you have to fold your clothes in a certain type of way per the regulations. Whether you like it or not, you got to do it. And you get into that mindset, whether he's folding them like that or not currently, that doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is that he has that mindset now of like, I'm folding these a certain way, and they will always and only be a certain way when I fold them for these particular reasons that are important to me. And I hope he's confident enough to be secure in that feeling when he's folding his clothes. And I'm pretty sure his wife would never give him shit for that because she's an angel. But I don't consider that a quirk. Why? Because I fold my clothes a certain way. I've been folding them military style since boot camp, since we had to. They actually gave you a manual on how to fold clothes. And you had to fold it in such a way that they had to measure it to be able to prove that it was folded correctly. Randy, get out of there. Man, this Randy is rascally today. So I'm right there with you. I got the tight 6x6 square for all my shirts. I got my underwear folded the proper way according to regulation. My pants are also hung up properly. Everything is above board and within inspection ready, if you will. So I get it. One time back in the day, I used to refold clothes for hours at a time in college. Because I was waiting for the baseball laundry to be done. So I had nothing else to do anyway. It's done with my homework, so I might as well just keep folding my clothes again. But B, because I was so into the fact that they had to be inspection ready and correct that I would just make sure if they wasn't folded right, I would refold the shirt, do the quick measurement, refold it again if necessary. Now I got it down to a science. My shirts are tight, okay? My shit is locked in, and my drawers are always inspection ready. And that's just how it is. That's the mindset you get created depending on the environment you grow up in. Sometimes my mother, bless her heart, when I go home and I do my own laundry at the parents' house, at the Libretti nut house, she tries to fold my clothes for me, tries to be nice. And I'll be out with my brother, Sticks, and I get back home, my clothes are folded, and now I got to refold clothes. And I have to have that conversation with my mother to convince her that I don't hate her and I don't not love her anymore. It's just, that's how I fold my clothes. And that's how I got to do it. And you're creating more problems for me. How do you have that conversation with your Italian mother, by the way? That she just tried to help you and fold clothes for you like a good mother would. and it actually created more problems for her son. Good luck having that conversation, because I do it on a regular basis and it never works out. The outcome is always that I don't love her anymore. That's a tough way to live. But this guy is a great guy. He's a great hero. You keep falling the way you fold him. All right, we got another one here. Moving on down the list, folks. Right, Randy? Just moving on down the list. This guy right here, also an unidentified fan of the show. He does something, again, there's a common theme here, okay? And I'll get to it at the end, but there's a common theme here. This guy wears a shirt, usually like a sweatshirt, for a little bit throughout the day. Maybe he's cold for a couple hours while he's watching a movie or something, or a sports game. And he puts a sweatshirt on, and then he's done. He's warmed up. He's good to go. But now this shirt, it falls into this weird, like, purgatory of clothing where it's not dirty. I know some people in first world America, where the Richies exist, that shirt not only gets taken off and washed, it usually probably just gets thrown away for a completely brand new Gucci shirt or whatever. But this shirt is now in this weird realm where it's not dirty at all, but it's not clean like the fresh laundered shirts in their drawer or closet. So it's got to go into this purgatory that most, if not all, men have in their bedrooms, is the designated chair for these types of clothes. Now, this varies of how many clothes are on this chair, depending on who the person is, but everybody's got that designated area. This guy has a desk chair that he has in his office, or it's in his bedroom or next to his bedroom or whatever, but that's what he puts it on, that designated chair. I have one of those 3x high drawers that you get at Target, the plastic Tupperware, how you doing, to put shit in. The top of that one is got my sweatshirts, my non-ready, my non-dirty, but not clean sweatshirts. My father, JPL3, he's got a coat hanger and a little tabletop, how you doing, to take care of that. So he can hang pants, sweatshirts, flannels. It's mostly dungarees and flannels that he's got up there. So we all got it. You can call it a quirk, but don't call it a quirk, because everybody's doing it. If everyone is doing it, every guy, if no self-respecting man is not doing it. So if everyone's doing it, is it a quirk, or is it just how we are? Just how we've evolved, if you will. And people get mad. The spouses might get mad. Significant others, if you have any. Randy gets mad. Like, what are you doing? It's messy. Clean that chair off. But if you think about it, it's more considerate than anything else, because you're not creating extra laundry for yourself or for whoever might do laundry in your house. Your husband or wife does the laundry. You're not creating extra for them. And you're not sullying the cleanliness or compromising the integrity of the actual clean clothes in the drawers or the closet. You're not crossing streams with a half dirty, half clean shirt. So before you go accusing this guy here of being quirky and also being inconsiderate and messy, take the step back. Do what we love to do here at the LPDS. Take the step back, assess the situation, critically analyze, then make a determination and form an educated opinion on it from there. And I think you'll come to realize that the designated shirt spot, shirt chair, tabletop, desk, what have you, is probably better for everybody, better for the relationship, for the clothes, for the people. So God love you for that. All right, this next guy here he had a couple of them. Some of them, well, I say some of them. There's only two of them. Couple is two. That's how we do it here in math. A couple is two in the LPDS world. One of them is he has to make sure all his appliances are unplugged when they're not in use. Now we're gonna assess this at the surface level where most people kind of live, which is what we're trying to change here. But I want you to understand where other people are coming from first before we discuss where the LPDS and the junction are coming from. The surface level folks see that as a weird quirk, even, kind of delving a little bit, dipping their toe into the water of OCD, maybe. It's like, you got to make sure everything's unplugged. That's so weird. Why are you doing that? Well, now we step back and assess the situation here, okay? Because if you think about it, depending on where you live, unless you built the house yourself, there's no way of knowing or, figuring out how good the electric work is in that particular house, especially if you're renting an apartment. Completely hit or miss. So why would you take that chance when you leave to leave something plugged into electrical power in the off chance that it shorts out or something happens and then the whole place is up in flames? You lose everything. What if the appliance is kind of faulty? You have a lemon. That's a very normal possibility. You don't want to take the chance. Financially speaking, keeping things plugged in a lot of times still creates a little bit of a power pull, a draw of power. So if you're pinching pennies to afford the rent before the welfare checks come in each month, that's a smart financial move. It sounds ridiculous. You're saving nothing almost. Yeah, but you're still saving. And sometimes people need that. That little bit goes a long way. So instead of judging, let's understand a little bit. Plus, how many times have you been at your house where something like an appliance actually fucks around on you and you actually had to unplug it and start over with it or whatever? It's happened a couple times to me. Everybody knows my house. When you come into my house, my kitchen wiring is all jacked up. Whoever did it when they redid the kitchen was flying blind. It certainly was not an Italian. No self-respecting Italian would do electrical work like that. That's for damn sure. But I got 6 light switches for a 10 by 5 square foot kitchen. 50 square foot kitchen, 10 feet by 5 feet. That's what I meant to say. So it's not a big kitchen. It's not that it's tiny. It's good for me, but for normal size adults, it's a small kitchen. I got 6 switches to turn lights on, to light that damn thing. At one point, I would turn one light on and that would inadvertently turn another light off. I had to get a guy in here to fix the shit. So it's completely plausible that there is a chance that something happens electrically. And why would you want to take that chance? Why would you want to screw around with that and take that gamble on losing everything? I wouldn't. So I don't consider that a quirk at all. That's a very mindful thing to do. Another thing this guy does, this is food related now. He eats his food in a specific order. Now, he didn't specify the order if he goes side first up to entree last, but what he really does is he eats things one at a time. So if he has 2 sides and an entree, everything gets eaten and finished first before he moves on to the next thing. So if he eats his entree first, let's say he's got a Berg Daddy, potato chips, and maybe like coleslaw or something like that. He'll go Berg Daddy first. Once that's gone, he'll move on to one of the sides. And once that second side is completely gone, he'll move on to the third thing until it's all gone. There's no mixing and matching with him when it comes to that. And again, sounds like a quirk, right? But let's dig deeper, folks. That's what we do here. You want to dig deep. What did we talk about previously about good order and discipline? One of the hallmarks of a good disciplined life is having a routine for most of the things you do in your life. Whether it's folding clothes or what day you vacuum and clean your house or what you do with your appliances when you're done using them. your utensils, everything. There's a routine. So why wouldn't you have a routine for how you eat and when you eat and what you eat? Perfectly plausible. When you create routines for yourself that are sound and logical to you and effective in your life, that allows your brain more space and energy to focus on new things to learn and new hobbies to take on and new passion projects to work out on. So why wouldn't you want to do that in every aspect of life? Identify a routine that works for you. Maybe identify a couple contingencies should that routine fall apart so that you in turn are not falling apart mentally and emotionally when you have to step to a contingency. It's already part of the plan. That way it's muscle memory. Your brain is now not having to focus on that. You can focus on something better and happier in your life. You know, right there, I got my dinner. I got 4 things on my plate, 4 different things, 3 sides and an entree. Let's take it down, and this is how I want to take it down. Hell, I eat my food. Everybody knows it. Everybody who's eating in front of me knows all the quirks and things that I do in my, when it comes to my eating habits. So it all makes sense. What this guy is saying right here completely makes sense. I eat my pancakes and my waffles. If it's a circular waffle, and then my pancakes, I cut them similar to pizza. I won't say like pizza slices because it's not in eighths. I cut it 1 extra time each slice. So it's really 2 more long-term slices so that it's 16ths. You just double the number. And I keep it in the wheel, the same wheel that it originally came in the original stack. I'll butter it first. I'll cut. It's in 16ths. I know my math on how many times I said cut doesn't create 16ths, but you know what I'm saying. 4 cuts, 16ths, what have you. Is it 4 cuts? 8 cuts? I don't know. Anyway, then I put the syrup in the middle of it all, and then I spiral it around. And I get every piece touching syrup. And then I go counterclockwise around the horn until it's either done or I'm full. Another thing everybody knows about me is I'm an extremely slow eater, and I take a lot of shit home with me. So if I'm at, the diner, housing a couple of Belgian waffles or a short stack, there's a good chance I take it home. But the routine stays the same. That way, I can focus my mental energy on engaging in conversation with my company, or if I'm alone, if whatever I'm reading, whatever I'm doing, I don't have to worry about how I navigate around this plate here. I already got it figured out, dialed in, done. And this guy right here has the same thing. So God bless him for that. You're a beautiful man. I have a couple of other folks in here that put some stuff down that are all similar, just kind of different nuances of the same thing. So I didn't, we're not going to go through those individually, but it further identifies that more people have quirks. And I have, if you haven't noticed, everything that I talked about what these other people do, I already also do in some form or fashion. So what does that say about me? And I got plenty more. I touch my chin like this or with my other hand subconsciously every time I open a door. Either right before I open the door or right after the door is open, I do a chin touch. I don't even realize I'm like Robert Barone from Everybody Loves Raymond, where he touches his chin before he eats his food. And I knew I did it a little bit, but I didn't really know or really understand it until it was 2010. I'll never forget this. It was very funny. 2010, we're at the College World Series for NAIA. I don't want to make brag like the real NCAA College World Series. We were NAIA at the time. This was in Idaho. I have both of my giant bags with me that we just got, the flight over and the drive over to the hotel in Idaho. And double bagged up. I got my baseball gear, and I got a giant duffel of clothes for the however many days we're out there. And the two roommates in the big room that we had that were right behind me also double bagged up with their baseball gear and their personal gear. I have the key card to the room in the hotel. All of us are holding bags. Our arms are dying. We've been walking this shit for blocks, it seemed like. And I'm sitting there trying to get my arm up to my chin to touch my chin before I card into the door to open it. And as I'm doing that, my good buddy, my brother, the creature, said something. I don't exactly remember what he said, but he said, "God damn it, Sargie, if you don't open this door and stop touching your stupid chin like Robert Barone, I'm going to slap you." And that's where it kind of clicked like, oh, crap, I really do this a lot, don't I? And I'll never forget it. It was very funny. It's still funny to this day. More technical difficulties with Randy's chewing shit up all day. Anyway, where the hell was I again? Damn it, Libretti. Oh, yeah, my quirks. Another thing I like to do is even numbers for everything. The volume on anything, audio, TV, even number. The when I'm putting in something in the microwave, it's a full minute, 60 seconds, or 22 seconds, 32 seconds, 34. It's never an odd number. Never 45 seconds, 46 seconds. It's always an even number. There's no real logical reason why. I just like it. It's even in life, and I like things when they're even keeled, even numbers, everything. So I do that. That's a quirk people call me out on, I guess. It doesn't really bother anybody else, but it is funny to make mention of. Another thing I like to do that, again, I started telling people at work this recently, and they're like, "What?" I have like a no barefoot kind of, not policy, but internal policy with me, even in my own house. We discuss how sometimes I'll bring my indoor shoes to other people's houses, but I got indoor shoes. The most I'll do is I'll go socks on the floor. I'll walk around in socks sometimes, but it's almost never bare feet. I even have I have those flip-flops, those slide kind of flip-flop shower shoe kind of things that I'll use in the bathroom. I'll shower barefoot like a normal because we got to clean, and that's weird if you're shower shoeing in your own bathroom. That's unnecessary. Just clean your fucking shower and you'll be clean. You'll be good to go. But after I get out of the bathroom, I'm flip-flopping around. I'm not barefoot anywhere. Nowhere. And then before I go to bed, I'll flip-flop it to the edge of the bed, and then I'll barefoot up and go into bed. And then if I have to get out of bed for any reason, I'm right back in the shoes or the flip-flops or what have you. And that sounded normal to me, because why would I want to get my feet dirty on the carpet? Even though I clean, everyone knows I clean and I mop on a regular basis, but I'm not doing it every day. And I don't have the money to have a maid come in and do it every day. So after a day or two, even, the shit's dirty again. I'm not going to barefoot my way around and then go to bed in that. That's disgusting. So I thought it was a normal thing. Apparently, it's not. Apparently, I am the quirky weirdo who has a problem going barefoot all over the place. So I guess that's another quirk of mine. And I could go on and on and on about all the other shit I do that I don't even notice until people laugh at me for it. But we don't have time for all of that. We're going to cut it here. But I appreciate the feedback from everybody. This was a fun one again. Really, the moral, though, before we kind of end it here and wrap it up, the moral here is everybody's got quirks, okay? And you can feel insecure, and there's going to be people that might make fun of you or laugh at you for it. But at the end of the day, we all got them. And if nothing else, if that does nothing else for you, that should let you know that is normal, okay? We might not have the same quirks, but we all got quirks. It makes us completely normal. And that's the one big thing I wanted to highlight with this exercise in fan feedbackness, if you will, is that we're highlighting that everybody's got their own unique shit in their lives. And they got to deal with it their own way. And it kind of leads into the big three, and we'll get into that now. First, real quick, number one, exercise every day. We know the importance of that physically, mentally, emotionally, what it does to your health and wellness as a person. But number two, don't be a shitty person. This directly leads into that, or indirectly. You can walk the steps over to that. And what we talked about were quirks, because when people see you doing your quirky thing, it's different to them, right? And a lot of times when people see different, they default to negativity and being mean. Something must be wrong with you because you do something that's different from what I do. And that leads to making fun of, bullying, ostracizing, othering is a new term that they use these days. And that is not good for that person's mental health and wellness, because then they feel insecure about doing something that's completely normal. Now, if their quirk is that they're out there making skin lampshades from human skin, yeah, that's a problem. But most people, if not everybody here in the junction, certainly is not doing that shit. We're just doing normal things in our lives that might be different from what other people do in their lives. And there is nothing wrong with that. And that is the big thing we have to remember. And especially as we talk about number two of the big three, is that everybody is unique and everybody is human. So before you decide to be a shitty person or mean or call somebody out on the internet, hiding behind the safety of a keyboard or a telephone, remember that that's a human being. And how do you feel when someone calls you out for what's different about you? Or what you do that you think is okay and fine and dandy, and somebody else wants to kill you for it. Think about how you feel when someone bashes you for that shit before you go and bash someone else for their shit. And then sit back and do a little introspective thinking about why you're doing that to begin with. What are you getting out of that? What are you getting about living in that negative space and being a shitty person to somebody else? Or shaming somebody or shaming a group or what have you. Think about that. Nobody ever gets out alive and happy by living solely in the negative all the time. You can't do it. So get out of that. Get out of that habit. Number three, the most important one, be genuinely thankful and grateful for all the good you have in your lives. Whether it's free toilet, the ability to color coordinate shirts. Maybe you're not colorblind, so you can color coordinate. That's great. Be thankful for that. Some people can't do that. Some people don't have the ability to fold their shirts up tight enough that they can see them all in their drawer. Some people don't have drawers. So be thankful for the good, whether it's a big good or a little good or a medium good. Be thankful and grateful for that in your life. Because that mindset of gratitude, that positive mindset of gratitude, coupled with the physical feelings of good and positivity you get from exercising and the chemical, emotional, mental feelings you get from exercising and improvement, coupled with purposefully removing yourself from negative land and not being a shitty person to others, all that together leads to the happier, less stressful, positive life that we all seek out every day. There are not many people in this world who wake up and want to be a miserable, angry, depressed, or piece of garbage type of person, one or the other. Not a lot of people want to do that. The goal is to be happy, for the pursuit of happiness. And the big three is how we're going to get there, I believe. Anyway, that's all we got today. Thank you guys for listening again. Thanks for dealing with the technical shenanigans and the rascally randiness and all that good stuff. Don't forget to like, subscribe, spread the good word. I got some more feedback from random strangers. It was incredible. Don't know who these people are. They listened and they liked. Awesome. Got feedback on Quirks too from them. Incredible. Awesome. Keep that up. Even the shit talking. I love the shit talking, especially from friends and people who enjoy the show and they find little things they can they could take joking, purposely funny jabs at for humor and entertainment. Love that stuff. Keep it going. So thank you guys again. I love you all. Stay strong.